Hello everyone, my name is Anita Makharia and I am the founder and CEO of Shubhkamnaye Events and Experiences. We are into the business of creating mesmerizing experiences and celebrating your happiness. As a company, we have a team of young enthusiasts who love creating impactful experiences and delivering mesmerizing experiences for our clients. And how do we do it? By combining style with elegance and innovations with traditions. We cater to corporate events, weddings, social events, and BTL activations. Our head office is in Bangalore, and our branch offices are in Hyderabad, Pune, and Chennai. Why events? Why am I into events? Because that is what gives me a kick. I just love doing events because it makes me a part of everybody's celebrations. It helps me to organize in such a manner that everybody has a fun-filled evening. Some certain objectives are met, and there's a lot of networking that happens. It is a lot of interaction. It is something for people to enjoy. It's something full of life, and that is why I love events. And Shubhkamnaye is a 6-year-old company, and we cater to pan-India requirements as well. That is a small brief about me and my company. What are we here for today? Today, we are here to discuss more about business events, more precisely about activations. And if I have to briefly summarize, suggest to you what you can expect for today from today's session is we will do a small recap on what do we mean by business events and what are the different types of business events. What do you mean by activations? Activations is a part of business events. What are the different types of activations? What are the differences between these types of activations and which brand may take what? Why is brand activation very important? Before we start this session, I hope all of you are carrying your pens and papers to make notes as I speak. In case you still have some doubts and need clarifications, I will be sharing my email ID at the end of the session. Please feel free to write to me and take more clarifications. So, you all must have heard of business events and what activations are all about. Did it come across to you in any of your previous sessions? I think all of you agree to this that there is an event for everyone, and each event is so unique and so joyful and so much of life, and that is what makes it exciting for event planners like us as well as for attendees alike. Okay, and I'm sure most of you must have been a part of one or more birthday parties, one or more weddings, or one or more corporate events. You must have visited some of the other trade shows or MICE events. So have you not noticed that no two events are the same? And that is the beauty of an event. And there are various factors because of which these differences happen. It could be your ticket size, it could be the target audience, the goal and objective of having that particular event. It could depend on the budgets of the event. Each event has its unique set of requirements, and that is what makes it unique and special. When we talk about business events or corporate events, it includes holiday parties for your clients or maybe your customers or maybe your own set of employees. You could have networking events as well. There could be some charity events that you all are doing. It could include business dinners, wherein it is more of, your dealers meet, your client meet, wherein you all are having, or your management level meetings. It could also include a brand launch or a product launch, seminars and conferences, workshops, trade shows. They're all examples of business events. And I'm sure you must have heard about it a little more in detail. Today, what I would like to talk to you all about is what is brand activation? Why do we need to do activations? Okay. So when you talk about brand activation, what is it that comes to your mind? Activating your brand, creating an awareness about the brand and trying to have conversions over this. So the phrase, if I may say, refers to the process of making your brand known to the people and increasing an awareness by some engagement activities or creating experiences and making a brand's presence be felt. In today's world, okay, where marketing is very important for any kind of brand, product, or a service, it has become very much important, wherein marketers have started utilizing two basic forms of promotional activities. Either they are advertising the brand product for the market as a whole, or they are actually targeting one particular segment of the audience. That is why activations play a great role to catch the audience and give a exposure to your brand. They are also kind of an, it's more of an giving an experience, hand-on experience about your brand, product, or service, and helping them understand in a better way why your brand is better than the others. Okay, so generally they are with building a positive. The whole idea of this is building a positive image of a brand and also being able to have sales leads and having instant results as well. These activations make the brand more memorable and more remarkable. It creates an impact on the audience with the dynamic strategies involved. It also allows audiences to get an insight of the product by maybe giving a sampling or by any kind of an hand-on experience. Okay, so if I may put it in three words, an brand activation is all about connecting, engaging, and converting. It is about connecting with your target markets, engaging with them, and converting them to your end customers. Now, if I were to say what is a process that goes into a brand activation? First of all, you need to understand your brand. Okay, so a thorough analysis has to be done as to how do you want to position it? What is your brand all about? What is it? How is it different from the other existing products or services in the market? How do you want to project it in front of the customer? Okay, you need to identify which is your target audience, and based on that you need to come up with a plan or a strategy. You need to ideate and come up with a strategy such that this target audience actually gets to know about your product as well as gets an experience, and you can have some sale conversions too. Once you have a strategy in place, you need to come up with certain creatives. When we talk about creatives are designing designing a roadmap and projecting your branded image. Even if you have a good strategy, even if you have good creatives in place, and if you do not have your execution well in place, every brand may fail. Hence, it is very important that you have the right execution policy, and the implementation of this is right in the best sense when it comes to reaching your target audience. After all, that is the end result, right? The end result of having a brand activation is creating a brand awareness and having more sales conversions. Once you've done an implementation and once you've reached your target audience, it always helps in having an evaluation process in place. You should always be open to feedback. Try to report the shortcomings. What were your learnings? What went very well for you? What did not work? Re-strategize, replan, and then make the required changes for your next campaign. So when we talk about brand activations, it could be product sampling campaigns, it could be experiential marketing, it could be an in-store or a mall brand activations. It could also include your RW activities, that is your residential welfare apartment activities, or it could also be your supermarket activities. It could just be some look workers walking around. It could also be newspaper inserts. It could be handing over of pamphlets too. Based on what your brand is all about and how do you want to project it to the target audience. I hope you all are clear about it. If you're clear, I would just want you all to take a minute. Before I go to the next slide, I would want you all to just pin down at least three such activations which you would have come across. Maybe in a theater, maybe in any of the malls. Did you see anybody giving, did you ever receive inserts in your newspaper, some pamphlets or A4 size or a A3 size or a A2 size pamphlets in the newspapers? Newspaper advertisements is something, the print media is something which you've always been seeing. What were the three hoardings that you lost? Are the billboard hoardings which were going on the roads, maybe towards the airports, or maybe even on your streets? You must have seen certain hoardings on the boards. Have you seen that? Just make quickly a list of it. I'll just give you a couple of seconds for it. Yes. Now, as you've jotted down certain activities, you need to understand what are these types of activations. Whatever you've jotted down, is it an above the line activity? Was it a below the line activity? Or was it through the line activity? Now, what do you mean by above the line, below the line, through the line? Sounds so confusing, right? What are these? What do you mean by these? So when we talk about above the line activities or above the line advertising, we mean a strategy which has a focus on directing to mass communication. Okay, it is a mass market. You are just creating a brand awareness. You are just creating an advertising campaign with no particular focus on any particular target group. Okay, this is basically to inform the customers that yes, we are there. You may visit the showroom or your shops or particular place where this product, brand or service is available. These strategies help companies to reach larger audience and create a brand visibility. Okay, and if I talk about above the line advertising, if I have to give you all certain examples, it would include television advertising, that is advertising campaigns which are directed at the regional level or at the national levels. It could also include your print media campaigns like your newspaper advertisements, promotions in your online articles, or advertisements in your online magazines or on your printed magazines. It could also be a part of your radio campaigns, radio advertising either at your Pan City or your Pan India broadcasts. Now, when we talk about, before I go to TTL, I would want to actually explain what do you mean by BTL activities. BTL activations means below the line activations. These activities are more focused and they are directed towards a particular target segment. Okay, these are highly targeted, properly planned campaigns the communication is highly personalized here. The whole objective of this particular campaign is to gain more conversions. Okay, this could be at demographic levels, keeping in mind the psychographic characteristics of that particular target segment as well. The best part about BTL activity is here you can actually track the campaign. Okay, since conversions are a core result of BTL campaigns, here the ROI becomes a little more higher, and it is single subsets of customers. Whereas when I was talking about above the line activations, since you're reaching the larger audience, since the entire market is your reach, tracking of individual campaigns becomes very tough there. Now, what do we mean by what are the kinds of activities which goes into BTLs? When we talk about BTLs, it could be flyers, newspaper inserts, it could be banners, it could be your sandwich boards, it could be your email marketing or your telemarketings, it could be sponsorships of certain events also. And you must have seen a lot of in-house or your in-store promotional activities at your visual merchandising, or maybe sampling activities which are happening at departmental stores or in malls, any kind of a sale promotion activity. Okay, so even in apartment campaigns, you must have seen some developers or real estate stalls. You must have seen some cars displayed, or maybe your aquaguards or your bank Bankers also are doing a lot of these campaigns these days. Having said that, now if I talk about a through the line campaign or through the line advertising, this is an integrated approach where you're using both ATL activities as well as BTL activations. Okay, the strategies are combined here, and the objective is very clear cut, giving a holistic view of the market and communicating to the customers in every possible way. You are creating a brand awareness, you are creating a visibility, and you're reaching your target audience as well. Most of the brands these days have started using through the line campaigns because it gives you both brand visibility and awareness as well as conversions. Because of this, actually, since a lot of these things get involved in a TTL activity, the costs of implementation are slightly higher. However, it is a 360-degree marketing wherein you're using both the ATL activities as well as your BTL activities. For example, a campaign may be running on TV and as well as in the newspapers, and you may be finding pamphlets also about the same brand, product or service. It could include your online banners, social media posts as well as blog articles. At the end of the day, the whole idea of this activation is reaching your brand to the consumer. These are just a few examples of certain activations. If you look at the LG activity, the picture of LG we know is one of the largest manufacturers of TV, one of the most trusted brands when it comes to electrical appliances. You must have seen a lot of these LG ads on TV as well, and you must have seen their hoardings too. On the picture on the right hand side is about a billboard campaign. This again is a form of business activations or brand activations. The Airtel Get 4G, this is a campaign which was run in a mall. Here again you have a setup done wherein you will have people visiting the kiosks and you will have your promoters who will be giving details, or a sales team sitting there or a marketing team being there talking more about the brand and the product. Here we are having a car display. Car displays are something which you must have seen in malls, you must have seen them at theaters, you must have seen them outside your bigger departmental stores or in exhibitions. You must have seen them even in your apartment campaigns. Road shows are yet another form of activations. The road shows, these are your look walkers. Look walkers again carry your brand, they are creating a brand visibility there. The mobile van display with games and activities are also a part of your activation process. The more you engage with customers, the more likely the conversions are to happen. This again is a apartment campaign picture wherein you are having a help desk or a registration desk or people sitting here who will guide you about this particular brand, create an awareness about this brand, give you more details, and try to book a site visit, take the and generate your database accordingly. The picture on the right is a newspaper insert campaign. Most of these are what you must have actually seen to and related to. Now, if you talk about BTL activations, which I'm going to emphasize more upon, BTL activities actually enable direct communication between brands and customers. One of the differences between ATL activity as well as a BTL activity is when you're reaching the mass, there is no two-way communication. Okay, when you're doing it through a ATL activity or through a TV advertisement or putting up a hoarding, it is more of creating only an awareness about your brand. But when you're doing a BTL activation, when you're reaching your customers, when you're connecting with them, they understand the product in a better way. Okay, so these campaigns are more personalized and they help you achieving in your goal by reaching your target audiences. It is more interactive. They also help in creating brand awareness. They are actually when you're doing a BTL campaign, it is more of attraction of your attracting consumers to you through and the more innovative and creative you can get, the better the conversions happen here. It helps you to have your brand standing out. Okay, keep giving you one step ahead and competitive edge against your other brands and services having similar products. Now, if you ask me why is a brand activation important, brand activation actually creates an emotional attachment. Okay, it is a stimuli to a purchase because you are there, you're making them feel and experience that particular product. Okay, so the chances of conversions are higher. If anybody has any doubt regarding it, you are there to clear it up. Okay, and you it is all about experiential marketing, right? So the long term solutions can be given. Brand activations also help in reducing the cost of other marketing activities. It is more of a transformative force, and it helps in changing the perception of about your company or the brand or the product and services. It also helps you in revitalizing your brand as and when the need may be. For example, when BlackBerry had launched, okay, there were more. It seemed to be more of a corporate kind of a product. But when they realized that okay, they can have a wider reach and they're not able to target the entire market, they had to rebrand their image and they changed their campaigns, having both the corporate wear people as well as people who were wearing normal t-shirts, casuals, and who joined into the campaign. Whenever you plan a brand activation, there is a certain specific positioning of your product which you've planned. Okay, and it is very difficult for you to create a proper image if you're not reaching the target audience in the right way and positioning your brand, whether you want to position it as a premium brand or whether you want to position it as an affordable brand. Who is your target audience? Based on that, brand activation actually personalizes your campaigns to that extent. As I was saying you that any relationship or every relationship, if I have to say, has to have a two-way communication so that it is more engaging, it creates more trust, there's more transparency, there's a better reach, and it actually adds to the credibility and also leads to more conversions. Now, for example, you must have seen campaigns running even on TV of one of the detergent companies, wherein they're actually calling when they say that they are the big highest, they are the best stain removers. They're actually having people to come with the cloth. They are trying to wash that and checking whether it is whether their brand or their detergent is much better than the others or no. Similarly, in malls or in supermarkets, you or departmental stores, you must have had some kind of a sampling activity, maybe of Nestea sometime, or maybe of some juices. You are made to taste it, and if you like it, they actually prompt you to do an immediate sale. So that is how the conversions increase. And it is because of the interaction that is actually taking place in any kind of a brand activation, especially in BTL activities, which does not happen in your print media or in your TV campaigns. Brand activation also helps in reducing the other cost of marketing activities because see, what is the idea of having a marketing activity? The idea of having a marketing activity is to create brand awareness, to create the visibility for your brand, product or service, as well as to reach the target audience and as much possible try to have more conversions. This is what a brand activation actually does for you. So if I have to sum it up, okay, the best part about a consumer brand activation is it allows you to get feedbacks on what you need to improve or what can be changed. It brings life to your brand. Okay, it creates a experience. It creates a hand-on experience about your product or service. It also reinforces the brand's market positioning or the brand positioning in a market. It also makes your brand become more prominent. What I would like to say is that we should never underestimate the influence of any kind of an experiential brand campaigns. Okay, it actually could be shaping up your markets and having better conversions and business to your brand, okay, to your company. Brand activations are not to be measured only in terms of the sales. It is about, it can be viewed, it could have a holistic approach. It can be viewed as a way to generate awareness it and create a visibility, cultivating the real life engagement and experiences for your target consumers. I hope you were able to follow as much. So, what did we learn today? We did a recap on business events and types. It was just a quick recap. We actually understood what activations mean. Activations is about creating a brand awareness and positioning yourself in the market and trying to reach the market. And what are the different types of activations? The above the line activations, below the line activations, and through the line activations. We also understood why is brand activation important, because the whole idea of a brand being there and customers not knowing about it is not going to lead your company's sales. I hope this was very clear to you all. In case you still have any doubts, you may feel free to write to me at anitamakharya@gmail.com. Until then, take care. Happy learning. Thank you so very much.